My SDK's just had a moment. Oh my god.
There we go.
Alright.
It's been a nice clean lap, first few corners.
Just a little apology to the viewers there that we had a little bit of a tech issue there, but we are back and going green. Hope everybody's good. Got Mr. Clements in the commentary booth with me again. How are you, buddy?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. Thanks for having me again. A lovely flight across from Australia, and yeah, first class. I really appreciate you paying for that. That's sensational.
Hope the first class seats were comfortable enough for you.
Indeed, mate, indeed. The 14 days of quarantine is definitely worth it. So, look, it looks like a fantastic start so far. It's been quite clean. I'm not seeing any incidents at all.
Got a couple of little moments. Michael Budge had an accident.
Oh, there is a turn. Somebody turned around coming onto the back straight.
Just going to catch that now. It's keeping by the looks of it.
Alan Dawson is around.
Yeah. Little bit of a concertina effect there, and they've all ended up taking each other out.
Yep.
And he's still not managed to get going yet.
Still working on it, and I see Stephen Bartholomew's going around as well. Well, we're blessed again, mate. We've got beautiful weather here again for the race. Looks like a lovely, shiny, sunshiny day. Temperature at the moment is 22 degree track and 21 air temp. Nice light easterly breeze. And once again, zero chance of rain.
It's always nice. We don't like rain on street circuits like this. That's when it starts throwing up all the problems.
Well, it's such a difficult circuit to navigate anyway. You're looking around this, it's just walls everywhere. It's like the Monaco of iRacing, except that there are a couple of decent passing chances here into turn 7 at the end of the back straight and turn 3 at the end of the front straight. Both good opportunities to throw a pass on if you've got a speed delta.
Mr. Brownlee threw that into the wall quite heavily. That was coming onto Sunset Drive. So let's have a look at positions-wise. Who's made up what? So the biggest loser at this at the moment looks to be Stephen Bartholomew. So he's lost 20 places. Jack Gresham's lost 22. Who's made up the most? Who we've got that's made up the most at the moment? At the front is Shane Best. Had a pretty good race last week at Circuit Digital Villeneuve. He's had a good start today. Getting very racy back here. We'll jump on the gearbox of him. There's a fair few cars chasing him down at the moment. As he hits the
Hawkins
wall,
going around. There's a couple of them going around at the end of the straight there, main straight.
They've all gone into the wall by the looks of it.
They're all patiently waiting for everyone to come past. Michael Holsworth is in that. And Christopher Hughes as well.
Oh, that's... I think we're going to be looking at Mr. Michael Holsworth getting a penalty for that.
Quite possible, I'm afraid. Looks like he just missed his brake marker a tiny bit there, and we'll
jump on board with him. That's a big miss for a brake marker. Wow.
Oh. Wow.
That's a very, very big clean out.
Wow, that was a monster accident right there. That was scary.
And he's diving off into the pits to get his car repaired, I'd say, after that one.
Yes, roll out the spare car. Quickly jump into that one and it'll be good to go.
So that looked like a Fishy Motorsports car, and trying to see who else that was that he turned around, but that was a big mighty shunt for them boys. Jump up to the front, we've got Mr. John Puce, currently running in P8. Car looking a touch second hand. Mr. Bartholomew has had an incident at some point.
Yeah, he actually, I did see that when he clipped the grass, turn 1 on the inside there and over-rotated the car and was unfortunate enough to find the wall.
And he's, yeah, it
took him quite a while to turn around.
Just hit the outside wall into turn 3 by the looks of it.
It's not your day, it's not your day, and it's so hard to gather from those kinds of incidents where you can't blame anyone. It's all your own fault if you've caught a curb too hard or something like that. You know, then get your head back in the game and get back racing again can be quite tricky.
So, Mr. Whiting, it says to me that Mr. Whiting took a pit stop.
Okay, has he jumped out of traffic to try and...
No, he hasn't made a pit stop. My overlay playing tricks with me. No, he's coming down in P4. He was leading this race, I believe, at the start, wasn't he?
I can tell you that. The
I'm
answer
not sure
to
if he was on pole. With my little bit of rushing around this morning, I didn't get a chance to check the grid.
Yeah, okay, I can run you quickly through that now. It's Graham Matterford on pole position in 9th and Paul Warwick in 10th.
There you go.
So that was the top 10 off the
grid. Yep. I don't know where that man's gone that was there. So Shane Best has had a bit of an incident. Have a quick look, see what happened to him. Looks like he wants to go back with Grant. He's had another shunt by the looks of Shane.
It's just not your day when it's not your day, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. That's not handy to happen to you.
Just caught the edge of it and bounced back. Really unlucky for the cars following too, because you can't predict that. You can't expect somebody's going to run wide there and clean up the barrier, and you end up in somebody else's accident through no fault of your own. So it looks like there's a few people have dived into the pits to take advantage of an early pit stop.
Yep, Mr. Alexander Newton's passed Shane Best. I gather that's going to be in the pit stops. Yep, no, that's not a live track pass by the looks of it.
Yep.
Mr. Antonio's has had an accident. Catch this to see what he's done, whether he's just run wide into turn 3. Yeah, too much speed, see that straight away. It's so frustrating because I know when I've raced around this track, if you do brake too late, you know you're aiming straight to the scene of the accident, and there's nothing you can do about stopping it.
That's it, just think pleasant thoughts, because that's about all you can do.
Peter Morris has had a shunt. Oh no, just where he's over rotated by the looks of it. No, and in the wall. Oh, that's stuck in the wall. That could be a safety car. Yeah, I reckon we're going to get a safety car, because that car is well and truly
very
embedded in the wall.
Okay, doke.
Interesting, just keep our eye out on that, whether we do get a safety car.
Okay, any word on that safety car? No, we're still pushing on. Obviously able to get the car cleared there. Big shout out to all the stewards and marshals who are out there working tonight to make the race go ahead. Pretty much everything is voluntary, and they do a sensational job. Makes it so that we can all go racing, so we do appreciate that.
I've just had a message from somebody to let me know that I had the wrong game set the stream. Just changed it.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, we've got just in the background a shot there. Sam Kazunas and Vaughan Ryder fighting over what I think will be
Second place. Oh!
indeed. And Katakazunas has gone around. Oh, quick recovery. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too. That's not too much of an incident. It's like it's locked the rears, heading there into turn 5, and spit him a bit hard.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, just coming up too quick on the car in front and locked the rears to avoid hitting him. That'll be disappointing, but he's only lost 6 or 7 seconds, so it's possible to make that back up and get back in the fight. Drops him back to, I think, 4th or 5th position. Probably 5th, I'd say.
Looks like I just dropped him down to 4th. By the way, not too much of a loss for him, and he's still in touch since the second and 3rd, and Mr. Ryder and Mr. Whiting. It looks like we've got Paul Warwick and Lockhart Brownie going at it behind him. It does appear that Mr. Stephen Lawrence has had a bit of an incident, gone off track. Just over rotated it into turn 5. Same as what Sam just did. Oh wow!
Oh no! And again, that's another tricky part of this track, is the blind corners.
Poor Mr. Stephen there, didn't really have anywhere to go, did he? He had the car stop, brakes held, and then come round and still collapsed.
That's it. Nothing else you can do.
Just trying to see if we can. So Lockhart Brownie's had a little bit of an incident by the looks of it. Is it going to be the infamous turn 5 again? It is. Oh wow, and that's Shane Best facing the wrong way as well.
Slap as he goes past for good measure.
Just let him know let him know he's here.
Yeah, feel bad for you, buddy. Slap on the bum, off you go.
So let's see where we've got the tightest fights through this field. Let's jump up to this fight once more. So these guys are going at it at the moment for 12th, 13th and 14th. That's a small error from Mr. Budge. Just running a touch wide. Now a touch wide again. He's not quite got the rhythm going through there. Jump on board with Tomorrow's chasing down Mickelwell. That's good as he dives into the pits.
Excellent display of the pit entry there.
Looks like we've got Mr. Brownie has crashed again by the looks of it.
No, it's not your day, it's just really not your day, isn't it?
No, well, Mr. Antonio's has had an incident as well, according to this. We're going to jump back to Mr. Brownie's incident. I wonder whether he just overshot turn 3 again.
It's always hard when your car's damaged too, because it's hard to predict where the grip's going to be. The bent rear wing like that. And these curbs, some of them you can get aggressive with, but some of them you just can't. They're just too sharp.
Looks like he just had a bit of a contact with the wall, so that's the thing we've got to remember about Detroit. These boys are going to be keeping all points.
Fastest time around here is by leaning on the walls a little.
Fishing Marks was Mr. Daly. He's currently chasing down.
Oh, the biggest part of coming through the stadium section is setting yourself up for the run as you come out of there back onto Strand Drive. And then if you can't get it done before turn 12, which is just at the end of the first part of Strand Drive, or the last part of Strand Drive there, and setting yourself up coming out, back onto Sunset out at turn 13 to try and get a speed overlap and get past, which is where they are right now.
it,
back across the start-finish line.
Mr. Daly needs to work his line through turn 1, 2, to get a run down to turn 3.
Exactly. Very tricky up over the little rise there.
Yeah,
Good crest.
looks like he got a good run there. So is he going to make the move off Central Avenue into turn 3?
Oh, had a good look there.
Nice, looking for a cutback, and that's a beautiful pass. We can make it stick.
We both gave each other good racing room there. That's really good to see. All right, lives to fight another day.
Peter Morris had a little bit of an incident. We did find him in the wall earlier on. It looks like he's just stopped to let everybody pass, so just doing the right thing while you're stuck in the middle of a battle.
Yep.
Trying to see where we've got action on board. So this Specchio looks like he's right on the back of Michael Budge at the moment. He's past Michael Budge. We've missed that.
So looking at the top 10 as we stand, we've got Graham Madiford out front, Vaughan Ryder, Michael Whiting, Sam Katakazunis in 4th, Paul Warwick, Lockhart Brownlee, John Pulse, Ricky Hyde, Justin Schweikert and Lee Siddles in the 10th place there. Oh, and I got a car crashed. Stand by, I'll tell you where that is.
Was it Pete Morris again, was it?
Could have been. I just caught the end of a crash. Back a screen there.
That's done that because he's stopped for everyone to go past. Trying to see where we've got the closest battles on track at the moment. This is one of the closest tracks battles at the moment. These three boys all squabbling over 20th, 19th and 18th. It does look like Mr. Daly managed to finally get past Oz.
Was Brenton Hawkins that had the crash earlier?
Right, okay. It didn't come up on our events board, which is a bit irritating.
Yeah, unfortunately, iRacing doesn't pop out that data in the telemetry, so you've got to derive it by mathematically figuring out things like off tracks compared to car speed deltas and that sort of thing. So it's not always easy to create that information. But yeah, unfortunately, Brenton trying to figure out where he was.
We're just jumping on board with Stephen Barton at the moment, chasing down. That is ahead of him, Nick Moores again. So Nick Moores has been under fire by Joseph Daly, and now he's under fire by Steve. Poor guy can't catch a break at the moment. He seems to have somebody on his rear bumper every time somebody else passes him.
Yeah.
What I do like is look on the back of Nicholas Moore's car next to his pro sign. I'm pretty sure that says I am something to do with I'm definitely not pro.
Gotta love a good sense of humour. That's gold.
Well, they're going on the nose with Spy for a moment. It should tell us in a minute. I did just read it, and we've got to read that because I do love Deep Boys that's got some of the old comical paint schemes on their cars.
There's a couple of the boys are getting around with might have coronavirus, so don't touch.
I'm far from a pro.
Nice.
Lovely little touch to the back of that car.
That's nice.
So looking at the moment, our fastest car on track. It's Adrian. How do we pronounce that? Lischetti?
I'm not sure.
So he's currently got the fastest lap of the race. Looking at the front, Paul Warwick somehow has jumped into the front, but I imagine something's. We've got Madiford in the pit.
Madiford.
Yep.
Oh, he's pit. Okay, that's why.
So we've got Mr. Madiford's in the pit lane. I think Mr. Whiting possibly has as well. He's still out on track at the moment, but he is chasing down Ryder. So these boys are fighting for second place again. It looks like Sam's got back onto the back of that pair of cars. They do look like they're slowly reading Grant in as well.
Interesting. So Grant's gotten out of the battle thinking he's going to go for a bit of an undercut. Get out of the traffic.
No, by the looks of it, Mr. Madiford is still at the front by the looks of it.
Oh, okay. Okay, he's not in the pits. Understood.
So
I was going to say, because that's a risky strategy doing that. You end up back in the pack. If you're out front in reasonably clean air, at least you get the blue flags to help you get through. If you're back in the pack after having done a pit stop, not so much.
Right, let's have a quick look through the field, see if we can see where the closest battles are. So, looks like Steve got past Nick Tamores. Looks like Nick Tamores finally can catch a break. The car's been on his rear bumper. And it looks like Steve's got the pace on Joseph to come back at him and see if he can make up another position. Looking at the timing screens, Steve has not made a pit stop. And he's lost 11 places. So, I believe we see him being caught up in this, didn't we? Turn 7 and 8.
Yep. Also turn 1 and 2. I think he had 2 incidents. So it's not been an ideal run for him.
So obviously what we like to do here is we like to make sure that... Oh, that is a big shunt from Mr. Mark Davis. And Nicholas S'mores has crashed into him. Poor Nicholas S'mores, is this going to be more bad luck for him? Let's just keep an eye on him. Oh wow, didn't hold the brake in hand. Very wonky right now.
Oh, look at crabbing. Wow.
So, yeah, I think Mr. Mark Davis there with a very, 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 very second-hand look at their mate. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble with race control. Looks like he's gone back to the pits now.
Tow truck's picked him up. Yep.
So by the looks of it, Mr. Whiting has come in, taken his pit stop. He's come back out, down in by the looks of it, 8th place. That's not too bad for him to come out of, and he looked like he had good pace. So if he can make use of the pace and make a move on Siddles and Sam, then again, we need to watch out for Sam because he's had his pit stop, and so has Lee Siddles. So this is a fight for position, not in the pit stop phases. These boys have all made their pit stops and they're all pushing to make it back to the front.
At this point in the race, I normally ask you, where's your money? Billy, you think Grant's got it sorted out front there? He's just making hay while the sun's shining and he'll run off with it? What do you think these boys that have pitted?
It depends. I think it depends on what Grant can do during these pit stop phases. He didn't seem like he had the pace to get away from these boys, but he seemed to be holding a gap. So I think if he can hold the pace that he's doing, then he's got every chance in the world. I mean, he's actually in the pit, so we're going to go on forward with Madiford. Here he comes back out the pits again. Where are them boys? There they are. That's Lee Siddles. There's Sam. There's Michael. Siddles has passed him. That is for the lead.
Wow.
I believe. Nope, he's okay. He's okay. He's okay. That's confused with the green cars there. That's John Hughes has gone past him. John's yet to make a pit stop.
I was going to say that was a sensational couple of laps.
But Mr. Sam is on Grant's case, so the gap that Grant had before the pit stops is gone. and he's now under some pressure from Sam. The only car we need to keep an eye on now is Mr. Ryder. He was in that lead pack. He was second before Grant pitted.
That's right.
We're going to see. We follow Sam through this last sector to see if he dives into the pit lane, or whether he's going to push this stint on even further. So here he comes back onto Sunset Drive. See if he moves over to the right. He is. No, carrying on. So he obviously wants to see if he can stretch this out all the time. We'll keep an eye on his lap times.
That is the ideal strategy. Coming in any earlier means that you're carrying more weight on the tyres and taking more out of the tyres than you would if you'd run the fuel down. So it is the optimal strategy generally to run through to the end of the stint on fuel down. Brent Manafort there battling with Sam Catakazunis. That was for position.
Yeah, that's getting very racy right now.
That's it. Sam's switched back.
We go on board with Mr. Whiting.
Unfortunately, if that happens, he'll probably end up caught up in the same crash. It's a tricky place to get past if there is a crash, as we've seen several times when some other people have gotten involved in a crash from a car ahead. Meanwhile, Vaughan Ryder is out in front and continuing to make hay.
Right, let's jump up board with Mr. Mike. So he's stretched out another lap. He's going to keep on pushing for the gap, see if he can pull enough out on Grant. His last lap was a 27.14. That matches his best lap of the race. Let's see what Sam has done, a 27.78.
6/10 slower, yeah.
We've missed something because
not possible, mate. We're all over this.
We are all over this, but it looks like Sam's got past Grant by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Mr. Brownie's in another bit of spot of bobber. He was looking very quick. He just pumped in a 27.0. Quite a fast lap time with a very wonky looking, but that's
help.
We're going to say good save, but we're going to say we were maybe possibly overdriving just a touch.
Possibly.
He did just
those
put
rears
in
well and truly locked, didn't he?
He did just put in a 27.0, which is only a couple of attempts at the fastest lap of the race.
For the bent car, that's pretty impressive. The race should run to about 31 laps. That's 11 laps left to run, and I'm expecting that Mr. Ryder will have to box in about 3 laps' time. He should be out of fuel based on about a 2 litre a lap fuel burn.
He's in the pits. You've called that just right.
There we go.
So we're gonna place our bets for 15 minutes to go.
I'm going to go Vaughan. I think Vaughan's done the business here while the boys have been fighting.
So here comes Sam. Keep an eye out at pit exit. And he's done. Whoa, it's not quite worked out for
no.
So at the moment, our man really leading this race overall is Sam.
Sam the man.
And he's skedaddled away pretty sharply from Grant.
He has indeed.
He's got, looks like he had some very good underlying pace in that car, just not been able to exploit it, where he's been sort of stuck in the pack a little bit. What we're going to do, obviously we'd like to give everybody as much viewing time as possible. We're going to jump down with Mr. Alan Dawson. We've not seen much of him this race. He's currently down in 17th place. He has made up 6 places. So he's and we catch in the background Mr. Hughes going for a bit of a spin. And careful! Oh, that's not what you want to see.
It's just so tricky finding gear. So he had it all tidied up, which is good.
I have just found my favourite paint scheme on the track though. that full GT and a John Player Special does look very, very nice.
Nice, yeah.
Mr. Stephen Bartholomew looks like he's having a bit more trouble. He's been involved in an incident, according to this. Have a quick look, see what's happened to him. I've got a feeling he's on the inside. That is, I'm not sure who that is. He's racing with around the outside of turn 5. It's never the best place to be, and they both parked themselves into the wall. It looks like he's just lost a place to Mr. Daly as well. Or
The
he
outside,
managed, it looks like he managed to stay ahead of him.
Wow, just not Stevie Bartholomew's day.
No, it looks like he had a brilliant qualifying session, but it's just not working out for him, is it?
No.
That's Ricky Hyde ahead of him. That's one goal we haven't seen much of today, so good to see him getting some airtime. 3 wide into turn 3. This is not going to end well.
They're all professionals. What could possibly go wrong?
Wow, this appeared to. I hope that's not an issue for Sam at the front. No, he's at the front still. He's okay. I was having some readouts popping up telling me that they've made the passes on him, but go back to
still at the front there.
live. Yep, he's still out in front. So 26.9, very, very fast last lap. But what I will say is Grant Manafort just put in a 26.5. Grant is on the hunt.
And we have got a bit of a crash just coming out of turn 7, I believe that was.
Yep, I've just seen a lot of names coming up. Somebody's crashed, so I believe Mr. Budge has been involved in this, so we should see right now what happened.
Yeah, Michael Budge.
He's hit the wall. Yeah.
Laboratory. Yeah.
Oh wow, and yeah, caused a bit of a pile up.
Indeed.
I'm hoping Lee Siddles hasn't crashed. Instead of me, he has. I'm going to keep an eye on him right now, see what happens. He's got Michael Whiting on him. Too fast and just clips the wall. That's dropped him out of 3rd place. He's lost his podium position.
It's frustrating. Indicative of this track, though, you've got to take risks to be fast. But the risks, it's a high risk, high reward circuit where if you roll the dice one too many times, you're in the wall and it doesn't pay off. So,
agreed, mate. Agreed. So we're going to go back up the front. We're going to see if Grant is still catching Sam. Here they are. Sam is just coming up to the back marker. We'll check the lap time this time across the line. 27.0 for Sam and a 27.4 for Grant. So Grant lost a few tenths on that lap. He just looks like he just clipped the wall there as well, coming out of turn 2. Looking at the battle through the pack, Mr. Vaughan Ryder is closing up on Lee. I wonder if Lee just damaged the car slightly in that instant. So whoever that is getting out of the way. Good job, guys. Thank you very much. I believe Mr. Michael Holsworth, that would have been able to slap him. So it's come up on my screen that he crash, but it's because he stopped on track.
Yep. That's what I was talking about before. Sorry, mate.
It's nice to see that we've had no safety cars. These boys have done pretty well, I think, to keep the safety cars from happening in this race.
Yeah, no, it's a tricky track, as you can see there. There's a few times where there's one car crash, another car come into it, and there's very little room for anyone to get through. But everyone's done a pretty good job, doing the best that they can do with regards to try and get the car pointing back in the right direction when it has ended up the wrong way. Just under 10 minutes left in the race, mate. Looking at the top 10, Sam still out in front, Grant Manafort, Michael Whiting, Lee Siddles, Vaughan Ryder, Paul Warwick, Alex Newton in 7th, John Poos in 8th, Stephen Bartholomew in 9th, despite all his woes. Might have to check that. And Ricky Hyde in 10th. Looks like Stevie B's still in 9th place there. It's a pretty decent result considering how rough of a race he's had.
Yep, sorry guys, I was just double checking a few messages in. So just double checking who's biggest movers at the moment. Biggest mover at the front of the field is Ricky Hyde. He made up 17 positions so far. Not a bad little race from him, looks like he's kept his nose clean. We've got a big accident going on behind. what just happened here. So we're keeping on these boys. So I had Chris Keeping, Ross Steele and Josh Mitchell involved in the accident. Whoa! Yep, that was
Missed his
our
marks
brake
again.
touched just a little bit there, yes.
Oh dear. Dietrich Matisic will be wanting to have a talk to him about that one.
Yes, Hunter asked into there, clips the wall, and yeah, it's not what we like to see. That's unlucky for him there.
It looks like a handful.
Yeah, that car's a bit, it looks like it goes to the rejigging centre. Not very straight at all.
Yeah, just put it straight on Gumtree, mate.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will buy it on Gumtree.
Yeah.
So these are the leaders at the moment. We've got Sam first, Grant second, Michael third. These boys just pulling away now from Lee Siddles. Mr. Michael White has done a 26.68. He just pulled half a second on both Grant and Sam. So this looks like the typical BMW trait. Looks after its tyres and just seems to get faster and faster and faster through the run. It's coming true here, and Mr. Whiting is using that car's advantage to come back at Grant. We do know that the Ferrari can get a little bit sketchy towards the end of its runs on its tyres. We're going to put the back through, so it looks like John Pugh's chasing down Alexander Newton at the moment. He's looking a little bit of a wonky car, but showing good pace. He's lapping at about the same speed as Alexander at the moment. They do need to be a little bit careful. Mr. Bartholomew coming at them. He's currently just having a quick
ninth
look.
place.
Yeah, he's 8 seconds back from them. But we've seen already that he's got some very, very good pace. He's currently holding one of the fastest laps of the race. Just got to not overdrive it, keep himself in a nice rhythm, and we've just over 5 minutes to go.
Yeah. With 3 or 4 laps at the most.
Quick back through. We've got a lot of cars that are in the pits. Cars that are not going to be coming back out on track, so that's Mr. Daly's car.
Parking lot.
Yeah, Shane Best in there with him. One of Mr. Madifer's teammates in the pits with him as well. Mr. Moores. Yeah, bit of a scrapyard in the pit lane at the moment.
Yep.
We're going to jump on board Mr. Whiting because he's definitely coming out Mr. Grant Madiford at the moment. That's the fastest lap of the race for Michael. So he's got some mighty pace at the moment. Yep, 26.495.
Okay. So coming up to some lapped cars, that's going to be part of the challenge. Would you rather be the car leading or the car following coming up to those lapped cars, Billy?
I'd rather be the car leading, so at the end of the day you can make use of lap cars, pass them. That looks like Sam is struggling up front, locking tyres up. As I'm saying, I'd rather be the leading car. It looks like he's struggling a little bit. He's lost a lot of time on this lap.
Yeah. On for young and old.
This is a fight for the lead. With, as you said, about 3 laps to go. That is a lap car in the wall ahead of them. It's not what Sam's going to want. Hopefully this car makes it easy for Sam, and it doesn't look like he is at least. That's it. That's what we'd like to see.
Like a champion. You can't ask for any more than that.
These 3 boys are on the absolute limit by the looks of it. Grant's just tapped the wall coming onto Sunset.
That was Justin Schweikert jumping out of the way too. Well done. Gee, these boys are really chomping into the curbs there, taking as much of the curb as they can to try and get as much speed as they can through the corner.
Yeah, Sam's just clipped the wall coming off turn 2 there as well, so he's on the absolute limit.
These boys are at the casino throwing the dice here.
It was like a small mistake from Grant, and Michael looked in, and
is he?
That was.
No, thinks better of it.
Yeah, I think that was more Grant telling him, "No way, buddy, you are not coming past me."
Thank you for your inquiry. No.
I'm going to stick with these guys at the moment. What I want to do, let me just jump back to Mr. Ryder. He's very close to Lee, but just out of touching distance at the moment. So just to give you an idea of how much time Sam lost that lap, that's a second to Michael when it's this close. It's not the amount of time you want to be losing right now.
No, absolutely not. Especially getting closer and closer to the end, the pressure builds. As those cars get closer and closer, it's that stress builds up and you start making mistakes. So hopefully you can have a clear head, just focusing on the apexes and the exits, and get himself through the next 2 laps.
I'm going to say there's a little bit of pride as well from Sam. He's the only elite driver in this split 2, and
yeah,
I don't think
he's an I rating of 4,000, so it's not to be sneezed at.
Yeah, he's an extremely fast driver, and I've got the feeling he does not want to lose this race. So
no.
more a matter of pride than anything else. So that's the very nice looking John Player Special full GT that we saw looking a little bit second hand earlier on after that incident at turn 7. So I think Mr. White has just lost a bit too much time that last lap when he tried to make the move on Grant.
Yeah, it really set him back, didn't it?
Yeah, it lost him a lot of time when that door shut. I'm going to keep an eye on these boys, because next lap will be the last lap, I guess, won't it?
Indeed, indeed.
We'll keep an eye on these boys. The next closest battle is Ron Ryder. He's only 4 tenths off the back of Lee.
So I wonder if Grant's just taken a lap just to cool the tyres a little bit, just to gather himself, plan a move.
I reckon.
So you can throw at Sam here.
I reckon we're going to look at something a little bit different from Grant. Obviously, there's not many places to pass. Sam's going to be covering his apexes as much as he can. So if Grant's going to do something, it needs to be something special.
Sam may have not got the best run out of there. It doesn't look too bad. Grant's maybe closing slightly on him there.
Sam taking up the defensive position already. That's probably cost him.
Yeah,
He didn't need to do that.
It did cost him, yeah. Defensive line that early on. Here we go. This is getting on. We're coming through the stadium section very shortly.
Just a little bit. He didn't need to pull that into turn 3. He,
no,
as you said, lost him good 2-3 attempts at. Let's see if that pressure is just starting to make him tense up a little bit. That's overshot. That is all.
Here we go into the stadium. It's on for Young and old.
And Grant went for the move. So
Grant.
Mr. Whiting's now going to be tasting blood. That fish is going to be looking for the krill.
The fish is going to be turning very much into a shark. Blood in the water. Here we go. So Sam Katakazunis has got it sorted.
I mean, I know we know Grant had to do something, but it was actually a mistake from Sam that caused Grant to make the error.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how it works out sometimes?
So
there we go, across the line, he holds it. Well done.
So that was a very, very, very great race from these boys. We're going to go back and watch that replay quickly. So this is when Sam made that error and just overshot that into turn 7.
Yeah.
Grant thought, this is my chance, turn 8. Locked up the fronts and
then realised it just was not going to be on there, yeah. I'm glad he did, because had he thrown the nose up there, it would have been a disappointing end for both of those cars, I think.
Yeah, agreed. So Mr. Von Ryder had a little incident, and because there was a big gap between these boys, and they crossed the line and it was close. So I have a feeling that he's missed his braking point, locked the rears, and around he went on the last lap. Just overdriving it, trying to get past Lee. I don't think he lost any positions. So Paul Warwick was the next car. And I think he managed to get that back round before. Yes, he did. Oh, no, he didn't. No, he did. So it looks like Vaughan managed to hold on to that place. So
Excellent. So the finishing positions then was Sam Katakazunis in first place, Grant Matterford finishing second, Michael Whiting third, Lee Siddles in fourth. Fifth was Vaughan Ryder, sixth, 14th, Christopher Hughes 14th, Joseph Antonios 15th, Ross Deal 16th, Josh Micklemore, Chris Keeping, Aaron Spezio, Michael Holdsworth, Lockhart Brownlee, Joseph Daly, Adrian Lechty, Stefan Lawrence, Nicholas Demores, Shane Best, Mark Davies, Peter Morris, Brenton Hawkins, Jack Anderson, Jake Gresham, and then the Marshals following afterwards. So a good race by all those guys.
yeah, definitely, it was a good watch. It was nice to see no one make any too silly mistakes. No safety cars. I must admit, I was expecting a few safety cars today, but
I must admit I was too.
I saw the video they posted up from a few seasons ago when they were racing GT3s around here.
Cast from a hotel in Bundaberg, and I clearly remember the anger in Ryan's voice. It was not a happy Ryan. But his approach, his demand for a higher driving standard is what's driven this series to be one of the best, if not the best, GT series in Australia for clean racing and quality racing the whole way through a wide range of driver abilities.
No, agreed, mate. Agreed. That was Fountain. Rounds turn 8 and 9, 10.
I didn't realise how much water was around this circuit. It's actually, just on a little island or a little peninsula or something, yeah.
It sounds like we've still got cars just popping around track. Mr. John Puce on track again. We know the comical... Oh, and the XRC boys are playing.
Don't need these cars anymore, the season's over.
That's it. They can go in a scrapyard after today.
Yep, throw them away.
I believe that was, Chris Hughes with him as well, crashing into each other. The learn to set up XRC cars, having a bit of a play.
Nice.
I think that is it though. Nice to have you on board again. I believe that's the end of season 11, isn't it?
Indeed, season 11's come to a close with that. We're just about to crown a champion, I believe. As soon as the guy that does the points.
Yep.
That's me. So I'm just about to go do that right now, and we'll see who finished at the top of the tree.
What I'll do is any of the guys on the Facebook page, I'll post up the finishing results for the championship, so guys following on Facebook can see. And I've already told Ryan that I'll be happy to broadcast Split 2 again in season 12. I think Mr. Puce needs to be careful he doesn't get disqualified here. I know it's the end of the race, but the last thing you want to do is get disqualified.
Driving the wrong way up pit lane's a good way to have that happen.
But, I've already told Ryan that I'll be happy to broadcast Split 2 again next season.
I think Ryan and everybody that's been running in Split 2 will be very happy to hear that.
So I'm looking forward to that, to getting a whole season in with you guys.
Excellent.
So anyway, Dave, I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much for joining us again. And,
no, not at all, mate. Thanks for having me.
It's been great fun commentating these last few races with you.
Indeed, mate. Indeed, I couldn't agree more.
Awesome. Catch you later, buddy.
Cheers, buddy. I'll talk to you next time.
Cheers.